Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Madeline Lewis. I am honored to present the Edward J. Lewis II Pro Bono Service Award. Edward was my father. During his lifetime, my father modeled for me the very best attorneys can be. He taught me to treat everyone equally with no exceptions. He respected each and every person and was respectful of their opinions regardless of how different they were from his own. He instilled in me a sense of justice and showed me how to be a person of service and advocacy through his example. When I moved to Chicago to attend college, I gained a deeper understanding of who my father was. I learned about his work and the positive impact he had on the community, the city where he studied and practiced law. Each year I attend the Chicago Bar Foundation Luncheon, I am astonished and humbled by the work that these attorneys are doing, how they serve their clients, and their efforts to make the justice system accessible and equitable for all. The important work done by people like my dad and this year's winner has been a sole motivator to pursue a career in law myself, as I will attend my first year of law school this fall. I am certain that all of us attending this event and learning about the work of these hardworking individuals leaves us all inspired to do our own good works. I am pleased to announce that this year's recipient of the award is Ken Schmetterer from DLA Piper. Since the beginning of his career, Ken has advanced the cause of justice in many ways, with a special focus on juvenile justice on both a local and national level. Locally, Ken has been a lifetime member of a pro bono advisor of the Umoja Student Development Corporation, which works with CPS to build deep social emotional learning skills in educators to transform the ways young people experience school. He also served as a leader of DLA Piper's Juvenile Justice Project, including as editor of a substantial policy study assessing and facilitating the reform of the process by which children transition from the juvenile court system back to school. Nationally, Ken has co-authored 3 amicus curiae briefs submitted to the U.S. Supreme Court on behalf of the ABA on matters involving juvenile sentencing and juvenile justice issues. He is also on the board of the National Juvenile Defender Center and has taken on several research projects for the organization and has led teams of associates and summer associates working on those projects. This is just one example of the guidance and encouragement Ken has provided for younger attorneys getting involved with pro bono work. Outside of his juvenile justice efforts, Ken has also acted as a lead pro bono counsel for several years on behalf of a Lake County nonprofit focused on housing and resources for people experiencing homelessness and mental health issues. He and his colleagues were able to successfully appeal a decision from the Zoning Board of Appeals that ultimately led to new affordable housing building for chronically homeless individuals. Like my dad, the depth of Ken's pro bono service is inspirational, and the impact of his policy means he is not just helping the individual clients, but has played an invaluable role in reshaping the larger legal system for the better. Ken's colleagues are quick to praise his kind and humble nature alongside his demonstrated passion for truly caring about helping people, and one of his nominators even called him a unicorn. After reading about the incredible work that Ken has done, and having had the pleasure to speak with Ken last week, I am confident that he is a perfect choice for this award. As others have been touched by his kindness, I was also touched by his kindness and generosity in taking the time to reach out to my family and I. It is my honor to present Ken Schmetterer with this year's Edward J. Lewis II Pro Bono Service Award.
Edward Lewis was humble, he was fearless, and he inspired. His life and legacy exemplifies what it means to stare down injustice and to ensure that the most vulnerable among us are treated with decency. For me to accept this honor by the Chicago Bar Foundation, candidly, made me feel uncomfortably a little like former Bulls player Stacey King. After a game where Michael Jordan scored 69 points, Stacey bragged that he would never forget the night that he and Jordan scored a combined 70 points. For me to accept an honor when it is you, the Chicago Bar Foundation grant recipients, you are in juvenile court every day getting children out of COVID-infested detention centers. You ensure that the rights of special needs students, tenants, immigrants, asylum seekers, and victims of domestic abuse are enforced. And you, the extraordinary staffs of Umoja and the National Juvenile Defender Center, who have meant so much to me. And you, my colleagues at DLA Piper, especially the incomparable Annie Helms and Lisa Dewey. It is your work and your example that moves us, because you make those of us in private practice hold up a mirror to ourselves and ask what more we should be doing. It is an honor to work alongside of you. And that's just in a normal year, which this is not. In this unique moment, so devoid of decency and national leadership, a pandemic, a wounded economy, and a moment where scabs are being ripped off of racial and historic wounds that had never healed, there is a new call for those of us in positions of privilege to examine ourselves and our own roles and our own histories with humility. It is as important as ever to just be present, to meet those with different life experiences or who have been disenfranchised wherever they are, to truly see and to hear others, to uplift, to persevere, and to meaningfully engage with open minds and open hearts. I want to congratulate all of the nominees and award winners and thank my wonderful family, Nancy, Talia, Will, and Jeremy, for indulging and supporting me in this work that takes time away from you. To my father, for your example in public service, and to my colleagues in the leadership of DLA Piper who know that pro bono and community service is not just to be encouraged, but is expected. Thank you finally to the Chicago Bar Foundation and to the family of Edward Lewis for amplifying his exceptional legacy.